Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to be here with you today on this video. We have a very exciting announcement that we're going to make to you right now. Hennessey is going to be building our first electric vehicle. And for 30 years, we've been building some of the world's fastest, most powerful internal combustion vehicles. You know the cars from Vipers to Hellcats to the Venom GT, most recently the Venom F5. I'm not abandoning my internal combustion, and Hennessey Performance certainly is not abandoning internal combustion. That is part of who we are and what we do. But as time moves forward, we have to adapt to the future, and electrification is here. The thing that I struggled with on electrification was the weight of the vehicles. I just couldn't come to grips with the whole idea of having a sports car, hypercar that weighed 4,500 pounds, 4,700 pounds. That car won't stop, it won't turn like a sports car or hypercar should. So 2 years ago, I started thinking, well, what if we did something that we're not trying to build a supercar, we're not trying to build a hypercar. What if we built an electrified vehicle that had comfortable space for 4 passengers, had room for 4 sets of golf clubs, 4 sets of carry-on luggage, but I wanted us to design a car that had never been done before. I didn't want to have a conventional 2 people in the front, 2 people in the back, 4 wheels and tires, and somewhere between 1 and 4 motors. Around that time, we had just hired Nathan Malinek, our director of design. I'll have Nathan come on camera.
Hey, John.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
And I'm just kind of telling our story of when we sat down 2 years ago, so it was October of 2019.
Yep.
And we were deep into F5 and very focused on that, and we're still very focused on F5.
Yeah.
But at that time, it's always fun to have a little creativity and think of an idea and think about maybe what's next for after F5. And so you were at my house. I said, Nathan, I've got this idea for a car I want to share with you. And you were very quick to say, hey, John, before you start telling me about it, go grab a piece of paper and a pen. So I went over to my wife's desk. All I could find was like a bank statement, this large envelope. So I handed that to you. As I began describing this special vehicle, you sketched it. We thought, wow, that's really cool. That would be really neat to do. Hey, guess what? We got to get back to work on F5.
Yeah.
And that's been our focus for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah, it definitely has. And it's a classic napkin sketch just on a banknote, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
This car couldn't exist unless it was electrified.
Right.
And that's the
exciting thing. It just gave us a clean sheet of paper, literally, no pun intended, as far as being able to design and package a car. Back in September, I was homesick, not feeling too good. And I started thinking to myself, I wonder if there's a chance some other design group, some other manufacturer might just randomly come up with a similar design. So that's where I thought, let's accelerate this process. Let's advance the design. Let's put our stake in the ground. And without further ado, we will share with you the Hennessey Project Deep Space.
Let's do it.
So we're at the kitchen table. Nathan, I've got this great idea, man. I'm like, if four electric motors are good, then maybe 6 electric motors are better. At around 400 horsepower per motor, that's way over 2,000 horsepower.
And you mentioned before, weight with a car like this is not necessarily our enemy.
And that was the other thing when we're sitting down, and I'm kind of like, 6-wheel drive. And the other really cool design feature I thought was, instead of having a traditional 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the rear, Gordon Murray way back when came up with the center driving position like F1 with the 2 passenger seats flanking. I thought, I want a diamond-shaped interior. So Nathan is sketching this while the words are coming out of my mouth. You have a driver-focused center driving position, the 2 passenger seats flanking behind that, and then we're at the kitchen table. I'm like, yeah, this rear seat, maybe that'll be the mother-in-law seat. Maybe we'll make it face rearward or something like that. And you, with your aircraft interior design background, you so eloquently said, let's make that the VVIP seat, the very, very important person.
Which is straight from aerospace.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the interior and some of the features about the interior?
Yeah, so this car is kind of an inside-out car in many ways, because we had the package, and again, you could only do it with EV, but with the Diamond setup, you get the optimal driving position, which is amazing. Then each passenger flanking the driver has endless legroom, which is also amazing. And then to have the fourth passenger in the back in this ultimate luxurious.
You got Captain Kirk back there, right?
Yeah, it is.
In the captain's chair.
Yes, yeah.
So if they're not really into the driving experience, they're like, they got Cato up there driving. They got their retired Formula One guy.
Yeah.
You've got the VVIP back here in like total luxury with all this technology.
This really will be the first car that I know of where it's a car that you absolutely want to drive, but you definitely want to be driven in it. And there's nothing else like it.
World's first pure electric Hyper GT.
Yeah.
World's first 6 all-wheel drive with 6 electric propulsion motor vehicle. Obviously, was it Terrell and maybe Williams had
so that was one of
6-wheel F1 cars back in the maybe the 70s or 80s.
70s,
and they were
80s.
Instantly banned as soon as they came up with
because they were
these
too
ideas.
quick.
Yeah.
Because why? You
Yeah.
get 50%
More grip.
simply because of the rear, the extra axle, and you can do a lot of other neat things with aero. Because you have that extra axle, tires don't have to be quite as big. So there's a lot of advantages. F1 proved it, and now we're going to bring it to the road.
And so
for
one of
first
the
time.
side benefits of, as we started looking more and more at the design and advancing it, was this super long wheelbase.
Yeah.
What we're talking 220 inches, we're talking maybe a little over 20 feet long.
Yeah, about 7
And we
meters.
believe that it will allow us to package a large battery.
Our partner in Delta Cosworth developing the battery technology, just in conversation with them, just generally about it, it's going to have incredible range. We'll say that.
On that note, our other partner, very significant partner in the project, are the folks at Shell and Pennzoil, and their technology group. They're deep into developing coolants and lubricants for electrification. So their executive vice president, Carlos Maurer, happened to be in the area a little over a month ago, came by the factory and we were showing him the F5s that we have here. And this was really something cool that we were able to share with him, and they were very excited to be involved in the project. So just wanted to pass that along. Back to the unique design features of Project Deep Space. Why don't you talk a little bit about this is a very unique gull wing door. It's probably going to be the world's largest gull wing door.
It will be the world's largest gull wing door. And that really just comes down to ingress egress.
Right.
Centered driving position is unusual to get in and out of, but the gull wing allows us to do that pretty easily.
And again, I want to just underscore again that private jet class luxury is the goal for the interior. So
absolutely.
Again, the VVIP seat, and I never heard that term until Nathan was formerly with a designer with Embraer and was designing specialized private aircraft for individuals and corporations. So, I thought VIP, right? No, he said, no, very, very important person. I'm like, so anyway, I think it's very appropriate for this very unique car and the design. But that rear seat, you want to talk a little bit about how that?
Yeah, so this is a car where you definitely want to be driven in. This is going to be a seat like no other. The interior environment on this is going to be unparalleled. And this will be a unique zero gravity seat. So that's something in aerospace that reduces fatigue over long trips. And then it's fully lay flat. This is not something that has been seen before. It's very exciting.
Let me just touch on a few high-level items. I don't want to overlook anything important. The retail price on Project Deep Space will be around $3 million US. This will be the world's most expensive electric vehicle.
Yes.
We are going to build 105 cars in total. Production will begin in 2026. We're already deep into the development and design of the vehicle. What's the 0 to 60? How much is the horsepower? Those are specifications that are yet to be determined, and we'll certainly be sharing that with you guys in due time. But I truly believe that Deep Space may be the world's quickest accelerating 4-seat vehicle from 0 to 200 miles per hour. It's not designed for top speed. F5 is by far the fastest vehicle that we will ever build from Hennessey. One of our F5 clients has already placed an order. His F5 and his Deep Space side by side, they do their thing. They're very unique designs and deliver performance and have a purpose in very, very different ways.
Yeah, I've always kind of put it like this. If you could only have a 2-car garage, you'd want a Venom F5 and you'd want Project Deep Space.
Yeah.
Because they do 2 completely different things, but they're the top of the game.
If you were able to own 2 planes, you'd have your F-22 Raptor,
Yeah.
and you'd have your G700 Gulfstream.
That's exactly
This
what
is your G700 Gulfstream.
Yeah.
Both are very fast.
Yeah.
They deliver their performance and their transportation in very, very different ways.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun to share this with you. I wish we could see your facial expression right now, because the ones that I've shared it with, there was quite a bit of silence when I first said, hey, I've got something special I want to show you. There's more news to come out about this, again, over the next several years. It's going to be a special project and journey. We invite you to share the journey with us. It's been so exciting to kind of work on this and lead up to this moment. And thank you guys, and we'll be talking to you again soon. Cheers.